Hello, I'm Simon. I'm going to be honest with you. Crypto can be a pretty hard way to make money. Now, that's partly because the whole environment can be rough, especially if you're new to trading or just finding your feet there. And you might find yourself surrounded by people trying to get rich for themselves or trying to sell you something. And you'll definitely have people trying to take advantage of you and what you don't know yet. There's a key thing that most people don't like to think about, really. That is, it's simple, but it's that every time somebody makes money, somebody else has to lose money. And it's realising this pretty simple fact and understanding that it opens up all sorts of psychological doors. And nobody really likes to talk about it. I can say, speaking for myself, that I didn't see any of that when I started. I thought it'd be pretty simple. I believed a lot of what I read online. I got caught by scam after scam. And honestly, I felt pretty stupid about it for a long time. What I eventually realised is that the crypto space has people selling a fantasy, because fantasy is what people want when they're looking for a better life. So this channel exists because we wanted something that was different, something calmer, a place that people could actually learn about how this whole thing works, without being pushed into bad choices and bad decisions. And that's what TwoTicks is about. One of the harder things to understand about crypto is that it often shows up in people's lives in the wrong moments. Now, most people don't get into crypto because they're bored or because they're happy. They get into it because maybe something in their life is not working the way they'd like it to. It could be money stresses, being tired of just managing to scrape by, or getting stuck in that rut and wanting to make changes. And then they discover crypto, and it's like this big shiny door. It's got "come on in" written on it and big flashing lights, the whole thing. And it looks like a way better thing to do in future. A shortcut, a way to catch up and fix things super quickly. And that's just human nature. It is, right? But it also makes people very vulnerable. And here's the thing, it's because when you really want something to be true, it becomes much easier to stop being careful. You stop asking questions. You start believing what you want to believe instead of the facts that are right in front of your face. And the bad thing is that there are lots of people out in the crypto world who know that. They know it exactly. And they know how to sell hope. They know how to show you big numbers. Here's a big number I made earlier on. It's absolutely huge. Easy to do. And they know how to make everything look easy. And to be honest, that's why so much crypto content feels like a dream. And it's also why many people wake up feeling burned at the end. So me and Bex came into this thing the same way most people do. No guide, no real support. Just the lovely, friendly internet, which, as you probably know, can be a pretty rough place, actually. Now, we ran into a lot of people, some of which made big promises. Big numbers, like you've seen already, big claims, and not much in the way of honesty all the while. And at some point we realised something that was very, very uncomfortable. That was that the crypto space, it feels like a kind of financial Wild West. Ordinary people have been pulled in with hopes of a better life, but there weren't that many places that actually felt safe. So instead of trying to shout louder than everybody else, we decided to try something different. And we started building tools and systems that help people approach this in a calmer and much more structured way. And that's how Buy and Build started. And later, that's how TwoTicks was born. And we also built a community around it. It was a great community, not some ridiculous hype group, not a place for showing off, but somewhere people could actually talk without being attacked or misled. And we had some strict rules there. We kicked people out for being rude. We didn't allow any nonsense at all. And I have to say, it wasn't perfect, but it was safer. And in this space, that matters more than most people realise. Now, after being involved for a long time, you start to notice a few things. Almost everything that actually works looks very boring. It's not exciting at all. And it doesn't always make for great screenshots. It doesn't give you much of a rush. The things that do look exciting, those big wins, the crazy trade results, and the overnight success stories, they're usually the things that blow people up in the end. And what works better is repetition. Doing that same sensible thing over and over again. You know, just sticking to a plan. Not chasing what everybody else is chasing. It's honestly not clever or flashy, but it keeps you in the process. And in crypto, staying in the process is everything. Because if you get wiped out, life gets pretty hard. Now, that's why we focus so much effort on things like risk, drawdown, and consistency. It's not just about how much you can make when things go right, but how much you limit the damage when things don't go to plan. And the people that survive are the ones who can take a hit, deflect it, and keep moving forward. So when we built TwoTicks, this is what we had in mind. Not a magic money machine, not something you just switch on and walk away from, but a set of tools that helps you actually do the boring, sensible stuff properly. Things like automation, so you're not making emotional decisions. Things like risk control, proper risk control, so one bad period doesn't wipe you out. Things like a big red stop button, honestly, a big red stop button. So if the market goes a bit mad, you can step in and take control. And this is what we use ourselves. It's how we try to stay calm in a not very calm market. And if you want to understand how we run things, or how Bex sets everything up in the real world, that's part of what this channel is going to be about. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.